everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing and like the video, and kindly leave a sweet comment in the comment section. I did well, hey? But seriously guys, kindly, it will be so helpful if you guys subscribed to my channel. It is free. Shoutouts to Shamila. Thank you for pushing me so hard to do a story time. So guys, this was my second time traveling to Europe, and it was summer, and I was super excited to be in Europe during summer. I had seen pictures, I had seen videos of my friends or just strangers enjoying summer in Europe, and I was like, I want to be there. I really wanted to be there. Like, honestly, I thought it was really fun, and it is fun actually. So summer of 2018, yes, I find myself in Europe. Of course, I don't find myself in Europe, but I travel to Europe. So I go to Europe and I enter Europe through France, Paris to be specific, spend a couple of days in France, and then I decide to take a bus to Netherlands. I had a plan to do 5 countries within 2 weeks because my visa was expiring in 2 weeks. I only applied for a 1 week, but they usually give a minimum of 2 weeks anyways. So I planned on staying for 2 weeks and visiting 5 countries, which was overwhelming. It was like over ambitious on my side. I couldn't do 5 days within 2 weeks. That's a lot. I mean, you can, but it was too much. So then I book a bus from France. What do they call them? Buses there. They don't call them e-bus. They call them... So I booked that bus, and usually when I travel, especially when I travel long distance via bus or a plane, I just prefer doing it at night so that I save the day for activities and exploring, because I don't want to waste my time. I'd rather spend the night when I'm supposed to be sleeping traveling, and then during the day I can have fun and explore more places. I don't want to be traveling during the day and taking away the time that I have to explore, if you know what I mean. The bus would take 6 hours unless it changed. So I get to either Den Haag Central, or I'm not sure about that. It was either Den Haag Central or Amsterdam Central, but I'm pretty sure it was Den Haag because I stayed in Den Haag. I don't know where I am. I don't even know where to go from there. And so I just follow some. We were 2 of us who stopped there. So I follow this guy who was, I don't know, going where. So I just follow him to the train station. Anyways, long story short, I got a guy who was working at this train station who told me that, oh, trams going to the location close to that house only start moving at 6, and so I will have to wait until 6 a.m. And so I wait at the train station until 6, and then the first tram line, which I remember clearly, that was tram line 9. Yeah, I wait until 6, take the tram, get to my Airbnb, sleep. I didn't have so much time in the Netherlands. I only had 2 days, like even 1 day, 2 nights, 1 day. Yeah, 2 nights, 1 day in Den Haag. So I didn't have so much time, and so I didn't have the luxury of spending so much time in sleeping. So it's 6. I get there around 6:30-ish because I had to stop and then walk to the location. So I get there at like 6:30-ish, and then I sleep until 10, and then I wake up because I wanted to explore the city, because that is the whole day that I had, and then the next day I would travel somewhere else to a different country. So I wake up at 10, freshen up, and then I was going to go to Amsterdam to explore Amsterdam because it's the capital city anyways, right? Who doesn't? And Den Haag is a very small city, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to the capital. So I dress up, go to the central station, get a train ticket, a 2-way train ticket to Amsterdam. So it goes smoothly. I loved the place. I enjoyed. I took the big bus, or the red bus, I think it's the red bus. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to leave a picture of the red bus. Usually when I travel to new cities and new countries, I take red buses because they help me have at least an overview of where I am, and so I make a decision quickly on which parts of that city I want to really focus more on and get to go to and enjoy. So because these red buses, they have either live tour guides or recorded audios that tell you exactly where you are as the bus moves, the history of that place, and some fun stuff. So at least it gives you an overview of the entire city in a day, right? So I took the big bus and I was like, whoa, like things that I used to see on Facebook or on social media, when people have traveled and they're taking pictures and they're like, oh, I was here and it was beautiful, and then that writing of Amsterdam, or I love Amsterdam, right? I got there and I saw it. I was like, I am not here, right? This is not me. Like, I had to take a picture there, and I think I will post a picture of me there. I had to, people. I had to. Yeah. So the story starts there because I was living in Den Haag, and I had a flu. It was either a flu or some allergic reaction which I had, and so I was not feeling good. And then Amsterdam is not so big, so once I went around with a big bus tours, I was like, okay, this is enough for the day. And that was at around 5. Was it? Yeah, that was at around 5 p.m. So I was like, okay, because I don't live in Amsterdam, I want to get there in time. I want to get back to Den Haag in time when it's still bright, right? So that I can have some rest, because the next day early in the morning I was to go to the airport because I was leaving to go to Sweden. So of course I had a return ticket I booked from Den Haag on my way to Amsterdam. So I go to the train station and hop into a train, the next train to Den Haag. And then we get in between Den Haag and Amsterdam, and so many trains have stopped. And I don't understand what is happening, because like these countries, most of them, they speak their languages. Like even on trains, on public transport, it is their language. Some cities are kind enough to translate in English, but mostly it is in their language. So if you're in Sweden, they do it in Swedish. If you're in Netherlands, they do it in Dutch. If you're in France, they do it in French. So I'm here and my train has stopped, and I can see a lot of people outside. So like they stopped in some station in between Amsterdam and Den Haag. So I see a lot of people outside, and this train has stopped. So I thought maybe it has just stopped to pick up and drop up some people. 10 minutes have gone. And you know me, when I use those trains, I want to use the upper deck because it gives me a very nice view of outside and nature. So I'm just seated there. People are getting out, and I'm just seated there. And I'm like, okay, maybe most people were stopping here. Maybe there's an event, or maybe there's something is happening, because I don't understand. So people are just standing out there 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then now I start to get worried. Like, how can a train stop here for 30 minutes? And yet we've not gotten to our destination. The reason why I knew we had not gotten into our destination, because I knew I was going to Den Haag. And Den Haag, it's written on the stations where you are. So when a train stops, then you know where you are because it's written Den Haag. So I was just waiting to see the writing Den Haag. And even on the train itself, it is announced in their language, but at least you can get Den Haag, so you know that you're there. So I knew for sure we had not gotten there. So 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I was like, okay, let me just try get out, because now we were 2 of us in this upper deck of that section of that train. And apparently the other guy was also a tourist and he was not also understanding Dutch. So I just got outside to see if somebody could help. So I get outside. There's no uniformed guy or somebody who is clearly working there that you can ask a question. And if you know these train stations and how they work in Europe, like, it is so modernized, it is so computerized. You would see one person or even nobody at all working at these train stations. Nobody. So most of the time it's just like you go, you tap, you buy and sometimes you buy your tickets online. So what you need is your ticket, you tap it, it opens, and there's a number of the train or the bus or whatever you're using in the ticket, and so you just look at the number, you get into that, you go to wherever you're going and alight and go your way, right? They rarely have people in these train stations. Somebody in uniform shows up and then I ask him, what is happening? I have been seated here for like 30-40 minutes and the trains have stopped. Like, what is happening? I don't know where I am. I'm going to Den Haag. I am new to this country and I don't understand Dutch. And then he's like, oh, you didn't know? It was announced. And he's struggling also to speak English. I know people speak English in Netherlands, but this particular one was, English is not, of course, his first language. And so he was really struggling to explain to me what was happening. Like, okay, you didn't know. There has been an accident ahead, and so trains cannot go past this station because of the accident. So we are waiting until that accident is resolved. That's when we can go. And then I asked him, how long would that take? He said, we are not certain. It could go until the next day. I say, next day? I can't be here until next day because my flight to another country the next day was leaving at 8 a.m. I cannot take the risk. So it's like, oh my God. Okay, so what do we do? You say, oh, people are now starting to use buses and connect and then get to their destinations. And then he asks me where I am going to. And then I say, I'm going to Den Haag. And first of all, I don't know how the buses connect here. I don't even know how they work. And then he said that, oh, there's a last bus that will take you to this place. I don't even remember the place. It will take you to this place, and then once you get there, you will get a bus going straight to Den Haag. And it is the last bus at 6. So you should go to the bus station, which is in this direction. So he's explaining to me what to do. He's showing me where to go. At this point, I am confused. I have less than 20 minutes to go back. No, I didn't even have luggage. I have less than 20 minutes to figure out where the bus station is and to figure out the exact number of bus, because it's the last bus which is connecting to somewhere in the middle of the villages of Netherlands, that I will get there and connect, use another bus to get me to Den Haag. Remember, they're not even like they're not refunding us for the amount of fare that we already paid. Anyways, a story for another day. So he explains to me that, and because in my mind it's the last bus, I have to get there and I have to get this bus. And you know, people are fighting to get into these buses because there are a lot of people. There were a lot of trains that were coming from Amsterdam that were stuck in there. So it's like first come, first served, and also it's like the strongest and who gets in first. So he shows me where the bus station is. It was just nearby the train station, and that is one thing which I like about public transport in Europe. It's so coordinated, it's so easy, it's so simple, it is fast, it's amazing. Anyways, I go to this bus station, and yeah, there's this guy who also goes to Den Haag. The reason how I get to know that this guy goes to Den Haag is he was also asking. So we go to the bus station and the uniformed people there directing, because it was a lot of people, directing people. And then he was ahead of me, and he asked which bus goes to Den Haag, and he was told that just go and stand there, it is on its way and it's the last one. So I said, okay, I'll just follow this guy. So I followed this guy. I didn't even bother to ask. It was a lot of people who were asking questions. These people are so few. And like, I don't want to also waste time going there to ask the same question. It doesn't make sense. So I just followed this guy. Who was ahead of me, who apparently is going to Den Haag as well. So I just followed him, and we stood there. Wherever he would go, I would just follow. Wherever he would go, I would just follow blindly like that. So apparently this bus comes, and there were a lot of people. Like, it was the strongest bus, I swear. It was so many people who wanted to go to Den Haag. I mean, some people were alighting along the way, and also because that's their country, they know which bus is going to drop them at their homes or wherever they're going, right? So some people are not necessarily going to Den Haag, but that bus was going to take them to their final destinations. So then I see this guy get to that bus, and I also get into that bus. This bus was full. All the seats, people were standing, people were pushing each other. I mean, it was super full. But anyways, we had to do what we had to do. So fortunately, I get a seat and sit. This bus went through the villages of Netherlands, like places that you would drop me there today, and I wouldn't know if I was there, if I had been there. Like, it went Vichochoro. You know what Vichochoro is? Like, inside the villages, like, I was like, oh my god. And don't get me wrong, the villages are not bad. Like, they're cute, it's nice. But like, the places I wouldn't imagine in my entire life I would go to or pass through, you know. Well, this is going to 7 o'clock in the night. So the good thing, it was summer, and if you know about summer, is that the sun does not go down until 9 p.m, 10-ish. You know, so it was so bright already, you wouldn't know it was 7 p.m. Which is why I was actually also lucky, because this thing happened during the day. We ended up being told which bus to take, and we got the bus, and I got to Den Haag. Finally, I got to Den Haag, and the feeling, I rewarded myself, guys. I just walked into McDonald's, and I just enjoyed my food even before I got back to the house. And guys, it's not like McDonald's is a very big thing. I would tell you, McDonald's, coming from Africa, I mean, there's some parts of Africa that has McDonald's, don't get me wrong. South Africa has McDonald's. In Kenya, we don't have McDonald's. And so when I used to hear about McDonald's, it was a big thing. Like, I was like, yay, I'm going to try the food there. Like, I was super excited for McDonald's. Not anymore. But I rewarded myself. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm here. But that is to tell you one thing about transport system in Europe. It's so good, it's so efficient. Like, even if an accident happens, there's so many ways of like connecting, and it is efficient. Like, it's good, it's perfect, it's really good. I wish we could have that type of transport systems everywhere in the world. The only thing that I didn't like is the fact that they do announcements in their language, and this is really not good, especially for tourists and the people who don't speak these languages. And I understand it works for them, it's their country or whatever, blah blah blah, but it's hard for you to like figure out what is happening in that situation, especially if an emergency happens like that. Even if they don't do it like every day, at least in an emergency situation like that, they should just like do a translation in English, so that if there are people who don't understand that language in that situation, at least they can get to know or have an idea of what is happening. See me, I was there and I was not aware of anything that was happening. I didn't even know if the train was going to blow up in the next minute. Like, say for example an emergency like that happens, and like we have been told to evacuate, to get out of the trains because there is an emergency, the train is blowing up or whatever. God forbid that happens, but in case that happens and they announce that in Dutch, I would just sit there and blow up with the train, right? So at least if they don't do it like always or on a regular basis, at least in an emergency situation, they should consider just announcing in English so that everybody is aware of what is happening. So that's my story, how I toured the villages of Netherlands without even know it was like a free tour. It was not free technically because I had to pay the buses again. But anyways, I got to go through the villages and get a picture of how the Dutch live, like, right, in their villages, in their own homes, away from the cities. Like, it was good and bad. So I really enjoyed the trip. I was just like, oh, okay, my eyes was just like out. I was like, the things that I didn't intend to see and the things that I didn't see in the city, I got to see through this Vichochoro bus that took us through the villages. And then I got to Den Haag. Anyways, guys, if you like my story, please subscribe to my channel, give it a like, a thumbs up, please. It will help me. And stay tuned for the next story. I have so many stories to tell you. Stay tuned and please leave a sweet comment below. I will answer to all the questions that you have in the comment sections. Even if it's not a question, just say hi. I would say hi back. Okay? Thank you for watching. Thank you for always coming back. And bye-bye.